A very good morning to all my dear children. So today we are going to start with the new chapter, which is force and laws of motion. Force and laws of motion. So before we start with actually defining force and understanding what are the laws of motion, we should go back towards the history of from where this concept has actually has come up to us, and who were the people who contributed towards this concept of force and basically the laws of motion. So let's go back. The first person who gave us this concept, who tried to explain this concept, was Aristotle. So now one more thing I would like you all to do is please read about him. He's one of the influential person that we have in our past, in our history as a scientist. He was the one who has not only worked in the field of physics but also in biology and chemistry as well. So he was the first person who said that the natural state of any of the object, natural state of any object is rest. So what he actually meant was that you take any of the object, if it's in motion, if it is moving, finally it will come to rest. Now giving you very common examples from our daily life. Suppose you have a ball and you roll it on the floor. Now what will happen? Finally it will come to stop. Okay. Now you take a stone, you throw something in the air, finally it will come down and everything will come to stop. So what he had in his mind is that if you take any object, the natural state of any of the object is to come at rest. Finally it is going to come at rest. Okay. Now we have many other things to talk about it. We know that when we roll a ball on the floor, it will come to stop because there is a force of friction acting. Okay. And there are many other things. Not only force of friction, there are many other things. If we are talking about air, we can talk about drag as well. Okay. But he gave the concept that everything wants to come at rest. Like we all want stability in our life. So all other objects in this world, in this universe also wants to be stable, wants to come at rest. Okay. But then Galileo was another person who started studying about the same thing that Aristotle said, but he had something else to say about it. What he meant to say that it's not the rest which is actually the natural state of an object, it is motion. And it is not that he directly came to this conclusion that everything wants to be in motion, fine. And one more thing I would like you all to know is that we know this chapter has in three laws of motion. We call them Newton's laws of motion. Okay, but basically there is only one law which actually was given by Newton, and that is the second law. And we call the second law of Newton as the real law because Newton's first and third law, as we know it from the textbook, the first law and the third law can be concluded or can be derived from the second law itself. So the first law which was given by, which is said to be given by Newton, was actually given by Galileo. So let's see what Galileo had to say about it. So first thing that he got to know and he understood by doing it experimentally, see, he did studies on the basis of the observations or the points which are given by Aristotle. Okay, either you start an experiment yourself or you take the observations from something else if you want to prove it whether the observation done by that person is correct or not. So what he did, Galileo took the observations of Aristotle, whatever he said, and then he gave a conclusion that the natural state of any of the object is not rest, it is motion. Okay, now this thing he explained with the help of an experiment or an activity, and for that what he did, he took a slope, fine, there is a setup where you have two slopes, and this activity is given in your textbook. Please read that, it is given in the blue block. So, and one ball was kept over here. What he did, the moment he threw the ball from this point, it rolled over here and it again came back up almost to the same height. If suppose this height is 5 meter, here also the ball came out to be at 5 meter. Now here you'll say that it's not possible. Yes, maybe the height that the ball reached over here was not exactly 5 meter, maybe it was 4.5, maybe it was 4 meter, but it was almost same as that of this height. This change, if it had come, would have been because of the force of friction, because we know in our real life, in our daily life, there are so many things which are acting, force of friction is there. So maybe there might be a difference of 0.1, 0.2 or 0.5, but it actually reached almost the same height. Now what he did, he changed the slope on the on one side of this setup and decreased the angle. Okay, now again what he did, when he dropped the ball from this point, again the ball came out and reached almost the same height which it was there. Then he kept on decreasing the angle, and finally what he did, he turned this slope into a straight linear path. And what he did, the moment he released the ball from here, the ball will start moving. Now what he meant to say is, now if this distance is suppose 5 meter, if the ball wants to attain 5 meter towards this side also, wherein what we have done, we have removed that slope. So in order to attain the height of 5 meter towards this side, this ball will continue to move unless somebody will try to stop it. Unless I will not stop that ball, this ball will keep on moving to reach the height of 5 meter, though we don't have a slope this side. Okay, so this was a Galileo's observation, and according to him, what he said, that if any of the object is in motion, it will continue to be in motion unless some external unbalanced force is applied. So he was actually the first person to conclude or to tell us that there is a concept of motion, there is a concept of unbalanced external force, because of which only the object will stop. You can also go through YouTube. There is a thing which was released by the scientist known as Voyagers. Fine. So it was released into the space, and it continues to move, it is in motion. This is one of the things which also proves that if an object is released, if the object is in motion, it will continue to be in motion unless you stop it. So this was a thing which was given by Galileo. Fine. Now after Galileo said this thing, there is one more person related to the concept of force and laws of motion. We'll talk about him afterwards, but let's talk about now first law, because we know the concept of rest and motion. Now we know what is rest, we know what is motion. We also have understood that Aristotle had said that all the objects wants to come at rest. We also know that Galileo said that all the objects wants to be in motion, will continue to be in motion unless you apply some external unbalanced force. Now here one more word we have got is unbalanced force. Now we need to understand what is the difference between unbalanced and balanced force, with a very common, very simple example of tug of war. Now suppose here there is only one person, here there is one person, and both of these persons are applying the same amount of force. Now what is going to happen? Nothing will change. Okay, these two persons will stay at the same position, this central point will stay at that position. So it means nothing is happening, because the force is from both the side equal and it is coming from opposite direction, so nothing is going to change. Now assume there is one more person that comes over here, and the person is also applying 5 Newton of force. So now from here you can tell that because the force from this side is more, this person will be taken by the team of these two people. So this gives you the concept of balanced and unbalanced force, the most simplest example. So balanced force is when the forces are equal and are coming from the opposite directions, and unbalanced forces when the forces are not equal and are coming from opposite directions. Fine. Now here the object will start to move in the direction where the force is greater. So here, because the force is greater, the person is these two people are pulling up the rope this side, so this person will also be taken this side. So this is the concept of balanced and unbalanced forces. Now because we know now balanced and unbalanced forces, let us talk about actual first law, which was given by actually Galileo, but because he gave the important thing, so it was taken up by Newton, and we know that Newton has given 3 laws of motion. So the first thing that Newton, according to Newton, is an object at rest will remain at rest. Will remain at rest. It means if you have any of the object, if you have a table kept at rest, it will continue to be at that position. An object in motion will continue to be in motion unless some external unbalanced force is applied. Okay, again a very common thing, an object at rest, if it is at rest, it will remain at rest. If it is moving, it will continue to be in motion unless some external unbalanced forces applied. So this is what we know in our case also, a very common one. Again, I had explained you, if you have a ball, you are rolling it on the floor, it will continue to move. But we know that the ball stops in as we see it, because there is a force of friction which is acting, and force of friction acts from the opposite direction. So after a while, what will happen? The ball will stop to move. Similarly, you keep on pedaling your bicycle, and after some time you just stop pedaling. What will happen? The bicycle will continue to move for a while, but after that again it also will come to stop. Why? Because there is a force of friction which is acting on the wheels. So this is what is Newton's first law. Now here we are going to talk about one more person, a very important person, and the name of that person is Richard Feynman. Richard Feynman. So this person also has observed something very important, and what he said, what he observed, that he was having a trolley, and the trolley was, he was playing actually with the trolley, and he kept a ball on top of it, like we all do. Okay, so you must have done it with your what you say, toys. Okay, so he had a trolley, and trolley was in motion because he was moving it, and there was a ball which was kept over here. So what he observed is, when the trolley moved ahead, the ball came backwards. Okay, see now again a very important concept. When the trolley was moving ahead, the ball was coming backwards. So this concept, we are going to talk about this concept in detail, but this was an observation by Richard Feynman, and this concept is actually known as inertia. What it is, how it is, we'll talk about it afterwards. Please remember this thing, a small activity wherein a trolley is moving ahead but the ball is coming backwards. Though both are in contact, the ball is kept on top of it. So the first law, remember, is talking about at rest will remain at rest, in motion will remain in motion unless some external force is applied. And you have to correlate this thing with Richard Feynman's observation, wherein he observed that if an object moves forward, the object, the ball which was kept on top of it, is coming backwards, and the name of the concept that we are going to discuss about is inertia. Okay, I hope the history related to force and the basic information of Newton's first law is clear to you all. Thank you.